I'll keep doubling, you keep bluffing. You've got nothing, I'll keep hustling.
So this morning I find myself thinking about Bitcoin not going anywhere, struggling at about 19K. And I thought about Googling this little image again. And funny enough, we're actually getting some activity. This is good. Really happy to see that Bitcoin is doing something at least. And normally when you get to the point where you're feeling like this, Bitcoin tends to support a bearish theory. I don't know why it is, but this is an amazing Bitcoin bearish indicator, don't you think, Lee?
Clickbait.
Clickbait. Okay. Well, might be clickbait. I don't know. All right. Guys, welcome to CryptoEMC. Today we're going to be looking at Lee's bearish or most bearish Elliot Wave Count. I don't think we need to say just how low can it go just yet. But also I want to just stress that because we are ranging, don't forget the context of where we are. We have to treat the range. We can't forget about the range just yet. We've created a trend, but we in the bigger area, we're still within a range. So there's going to be a little bit of a hint of a bullishness in our voices.
Let me start with the bullishness first before we talk about the bearish scenario. Okay.
Okay.
So let's start with the bullish scenario. Let's start also with the update from the last Elliot Wave videos that we streamed like a week ago. We tend to do every Thursday now a little bit of Elliot Wave. So if you want to see the context of everything, you can go to last Thursday video, where we end up with the last Elliot Wave counts. Okay.
So you're going to have a look at that one, guys.
And then you will know that last Thursday we talked about this count here. Or was it one of the Thursday? Was it maybe the first one? Maybe 2 weeks ago. Anyway, we talk about Elliot Wave and we talk about the correction of this big move from the downside. And we are calling that if this is the WXY and the Y end up at this level here, so that should be the end of retrace. And the bottom basically for Bitcoin for 2022 should be in. And we should not go below 17,500. This, I think that was the last low that we have seen here. And if that is the case, now we start with a 1 and then a 2 retrace, correction for 2. And then we should go, after the correction here, we should go up from there by maintaining this low there. Now, if we look within this wave 2, what's happening, because now we take the top of the wave 1, and this everything is happening right now. It's a correction, and we can put like a nice triangle at the bottom, where this triangle is trying to make every time a higher high. So let's dive into this small partial of the chart where we could draw a triangle in it. Okay, if that is the wave A and then B, now we have C, D, E. Every time we should make lower highs and lower lows. Basically, that will create a compression in terms of this price. And after we're done with that correction, because it's the end of the wave 2, then we should go up from there. So within that triangle, we can decompose those waves. Inside the triangle, everything should be 3 waves. So 1, 2, 3. The first blue one is here.
Can you maybe zoom in fast a bit? Bring that wave in so we can see it nice and clearly on the screen. Thanks, buddy.
So I'm going to highlight them one by one. So the first, that is A. The B wave has 3 waves, 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then we have, now we need to do B to C. Okay. B to C should be a structure of 3 waves. So that blue one, WXY. Okay.
Yes.
And now, what is interesting to see what is happening between this X to Y. X to Y, you have A, B, C inside. So there is also 3 waves within this X to Y wave. If you look at this X to C, I label like this: A, from that X to this bottom here, A, B up, and now we should end up C with 5 wave structure down to the downside. Okay, so let's dive into a little bit of smaller time frame. 4 hour. Why I like to label it like this is also because Now we are only paying attention to the X to Y leg, that last portion of the blue one. It's because if you take the top of the X here, bottom of A, that B went to 123% retrace, which is a flat. ABC can be labeled for a flat as well. So the flat is 3 wave, a B wave, and then 5 wave to the downside. The C is always a 5 wave. So B went exactly to 123, a little bit above in BFNX. And now, if that is the case, we have to follow this ABC. Okay, and the C wave is always in Elliot Wave. C wave is always a 5 wave structure. So how can we label a 5 wave structure? 1, 2. We have to find somewhere to put a 3, 4, 5. How I did choose to put the 3 there, because if I zoom in now in a 15-minute chart, need to zoom. I always look for RSI in oversold area where you need to put a third wave. Okay, third wave, even a bullish divergence to mark the end of the third wave. 4 wave, 1, 2, 3 comes somewhere on the top here, and now we should finish with 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So if that is the case, let's find out where this 5th wave can end if it is a flat. Well, a level of a flat here, you need to use the fifth trend-based fifth extension. Okay, I don't need that. 6, 1, 1, 2. I don't need those. So the first click on that X, second click on that A, third click at the top of the B, and we use the fib extension, and that will give you the target for an end of the C wave. So end of the C wave, if it is a truncated 1618, 123, and also 1618. So that's why if that is a drop, that's going to bring Bitcoin price to, at around 18,539 on BitFinex. Bear in mind that those values can be different in all the exchanges. That should be the end of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we should end up this drop, this drop here around about 18,500 plus minus.
18.5.
18.5, yes. And
okay,
you know
guys.
what? Now you know what? On the 15 minutes, what do we have? On a smaller time frame, you can say this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Why? Look at this. What do we have again? RSI oversold, come back. RSI should go back up. Price should go back up. And then RSI should come down with the first bearish divergence that you're going to see here. RSI should come back down, make a bullish divergence where the price can go a little bit, can go up and down, and then a little bit down again to make a bullish divergence. And that should be the end. If that count is correct, and that should be the end of the drop, and we should go up from there.
Right. Let's leave it there, because I mean, what you've now done is you've almost done last week's video in a third of the time. And so it's slowed down. There's a lot of detail that needs to be considered. But now we get to the crux of the answers. If you want to be bullish, 18.5.
Yeah.
Now, big picture Elliot Wave Count, bearishness. This is what we want now. That's why people click on this.
That's why, I mean, I don't want to show you the bearishness first, and you can all panic sell why maybe 18.5 is the bottom. So if I'm trading 18.5, I'm going to put my stop losses below the previous low, which is like 18.1. That's a good ratio for me as a trade. Bigger time frame, I'm looking at this now, and another account, totally, I mean, not different. We can call it a WXY, which is the same as the top one. And instead of calling this a triangle, which is the end, we add another correction here, another X, and then that is sometimes, the correction take place with a Z wave to end it. Okay, so there's WXY, and if they want to waste more time or make it more bearish, that it looks like already, they can add another leg down to the Z. Okay. Now, also, if you look at the previous video where we talk about this WXY XZ, I don't like the reason why I put the X here because of RSI. You're going to revisit the video. We're not going to waste more time on that today. But I'm gonna give you also another reason why I'm not counting right now until we are going lower than 17.1. This is not in my book. I'm not looking at this scenario yet because first, I mean, RSI is at the wrong place to me for that X. Secondly, now there are a few rules. The X wave here should retrace at least 38.2 from the previous drop. I'm in a log scale, okay? On a log scale, I'm gonna put the fib now here. And if I put a normal fib, let's put the default one. Price on the log scale, you can see the first X retrace above 38.2. That for me, it's a valid point for X. Minimum, X should retrace to 38.2. If it is less than 38.2, you need to be worried about that count as well. So this is valid. My second X, okay, I'm gonna zoom in. Last time I checked, it didn't go to 38.2. Okay, 38.2 is at 25,752, and here we just miss it by a little bit, by $200. Do we have to be so strict on those rules? I mean, I used to believe that Elliot Wave is like really, really precise, and we need to be strict with those rules. So this X here, to me, it's a little bit weak for it to be an X. So even if they wanna do WXYXZ, unless not every single count is perfect. Obviously on Elliot Wave as well, you have to force it sometimes. But if they really want to cheat the market like this by putting a less than a 38 to retrace on that fib and smash it down, well, all you can do is put a stop loss if you are not counting on that one. If you are trading that one, be aware. You should be aware that this X, if you are really bearish on that 14K, maybe this X is not done, and we should go back higher to this 32 level at least, or even a little bit higher at 29K at 50%, and then smash it down for another Z leg. Okay, that is the first reason why I don't like that X yet at that level here. Another reason why, now assuming we have the X at this place here, assuming we have this X, let's work out those targets for the Z wave. So the first, just gonna make sure that this is also in a log scale. Okay, so the first target of the Y leg can go to 100%, 123, 1618. 1618 will be 14,000. If that is, the Y leg is there, then it's 14,000 could be another one. But Y should be like a three-way, 1, 2, 3. Like here, the first one, 1, 2, 3. So for me, this 1, 2, 3 is done. So if that is the X retrace should go with a target to at least 618. Okay. So that on the, if that is the X, then if we drop lower, the 618 level will have to be 15,800 if we are really in a bearish scenario. Okay.
That's the one I like the most.
15.8, 100% will be 11.1, 123 is 10, and it can go as low as 1618, which is 7.5. If you wanna really push, the button and really become bearish, you need to know that all those targets here, 15.8, 11.12, 10K, and even 7.4 will be the target for the last correction, on the X wave. But like I said, if you are not going below this 17.5, the X is missing certain condition in my book. So for me, for label this one as an X.
Now, guys, just to add on to what Lee just said, sorry, Lee, head over to the Discord, scan the QR code there, and then it takes you to the Discord. What Lee has done is in the Discord, he has created a set of rules there. So if you want to take notes on this and you want to follow up, just go and check out these rules. He's already added it in Discord for you guys. Okay, Lee, continue on, buddy.
What is it I wanted to say? Oh, yeah. Well, the other argument against, if the X is not done and Bitcoin price goes up above 25, above 25.5, 25.4, well, you probably have seen already this 3-month chart. where I'm just gonna repeat again because this is my
Your
the
go-to
chart
move.
that I did. My
That's
go-to
his
move,
pickup
turning
line.
bullish.
That's
Is
his
basically,
Bitcoin pickup line.
yeah, it's so easy to see, to point out that every time Bitcoin is making a 3-month candle low, going lower, the next month is bearish. But as soon as we go on the previous, make a higher high compared to the previous 3 months, then the trend is turning and we go bullish. It was the case throughout the whole history of Bitcoin. It never happened otherwise. And that last 3 months chart, that was a pivot here, obviously at 25.5. Just gonna remove all those drawing. That was the last 3 months candle close, and the high was at top there at 25,205. So if X wave have to go above that, meant to me that we won't be also on another invalid count, and I will rather turn bullish just based on that chart, because there are so many bullish counts on Elliot Wave as well, where we call the bottom is in, and for me, and the one that we shared at the beginning of the show is basically part of this bullish count where we call it 1, 2, and then for the next impulse for the third wave.
Awesome. Now, guys, if you're confused, if you're new to trading and maybe confused, remember, if you think of trading as being a gambler, then you kind of understand the reality that you need to plan for your losses and not so much for your wins, because this is what 90% of the market is doing. People are taking an analysis, trying to figure out how to win, and they end up losing. We tend to spend a lot of time working out the scenarios of where we're going to get it wrong, because you want to cover yourself, because nobody really knows. And that's the beauty of having this bearish count in mind and having the bullish count in mind, is understanding that I can take action in one direction, although I might have a narrative or a feeling within myself that the market could continue on in a different direction. And then if the market so turns and catches us and everybody else off guard, you've got a position in, you've got it covered. And that's the beauty about Elliott Wave and the various counts. Fibonacci Lee, what else that you want to share with us today?
Okay, something easy, I think, and I hope it's going to be a little bit more fun. We're talking about ABC, WXY, and then WXYXZ, and all those correction wave and flat, and all those things. That's boring. Let's make it now. Let's make it a little bit. Let's try to make it a little bit easier and fun by counting those correction wave. So basically, a correction wave in Elliott Wave or in anything, a correction wave on Bitcoin or any chart, it's usually 3, 7, or 11. Okay, 3, 7, 11 wave. So if that
any correction basically is going to fall on those numbers. Is that what you're saying?
If it is a correction wave, it's always it's always 3, 7, or 11 waves. Okay.
So
if it is a correction,
7 or 11 is exact?
3, 7, 11.
Okay.
So now we can count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. If that is a correction wave, that's 7. And like I said, if you want to add a little bit more, then you will have 8, 9, 10, 11, unfortunately. Okay.
Sucks.
Okay. So that is 11 count like this, or 7 count, if we call the bottom there. Okay. After 7 leg retrace, usually you have a reaction up, like we did have here. Let's dive into a smaller time frame, and that was also the count that we shared yesterday on the Discord. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because we never made higher highs on those pivots. Remember yesterday video, we wanted to make a pivot, a higher high here to turn really bullish. Even with the indicator 19.2, we never made a higher high. So I'm forced to use 7, 8, maybe 9, 10, 11. Okay. even I think yesterday I wanted to make shorter counts. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I think 8. And we wanted to call this already as 11 wave and wanted to, move up from there. Okay. So maybe this is a bad example because like we just said at the beginning of the video, this could be an impulse wave, which means that the correction count is not correct anymore, because if that is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, impulse is totally different than a correction wave. But if you see now, every time there's a big drop like this, you should count that after 11 wave, let's make a test there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What is that? MEXC. And then we have a correction up. 8, 9, 10, 11. So if that is a correction wave, you have 11. And then you have a correction. Okay. So on any time frame, try to see those waves as a correction wave 1, 2, 3. I don't think we can have like a big 1, 2, 3 wave on a smaller time frame, or 7 or 11. And the principle behind this, I don't know if I have time. Yeah, 20 minutes we have time. Just gonna show you on the chart. A, B, C. So A, B, C, that's 3 wave, 1, 2, 3. Okay. W, X, Y is made of ABC and maybe another ABC. Okay, and now if you count this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, now if you add another XZ, then you have 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, does it make sense?
I think, Lee, one thing to add in there is if you're new to trading, you might struggle to determine what is a high and what is a low. I think that is a big problem that everybody, and let me know if you agree with me, guys, in the chat. Maybe give me a 777. It's identifying where to draw a line on a wave. You use the RSI. Maybe just give us an idea and just, draw. How do you use the RSI?
RSI wave is counting totally different than the price action. But you don't need to be so accurate on those drop, especially after the 7 wave. Sometimes you enter a little bit too early. We never made a higher high. You can still go lower. Nothing is going to be 100% bulletproof strategy because you never know where the 7th wave is going to end. But the best way to look at it is when you look at this price action, it's going down. So you have already a 1, 2, 3. Okay. After the 3rd wave, you have a reaction up. If you are taking a trade after the 3rd correction, and you're trying to counter trade this trend, when you enter here, obviously you put a stop loss to protect your correction, your trade. If it's not a 3 wave, 4th retrace, it's going to come back 5, 6, 7. Okay. My point is, if you come back to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, when you enter a trade here, most probably you know that the 6 and 7 is coming if you are looking for a correction. Because when you trade a correction, you wanna long, you wanna go against the trend to get a reversal trend. But know that this reversal trend may not work if you are trading the 5th wave correction. That's the idea. And basically also always use a stop loss.
That's the key, guys. Always use a stop loss. We are traders. We need to have a line drawn in the sand. Now, Lee, I'm going to flip over and I'm just going to quickly do a recap on what I'm thinking from Bitcoin. Mine might differ slightly from Lee's, and not to try and take away the thunder from the Elliott wave. I'm just going to apply a simple demand and a supply zone buy tactic that I use to try and get my BTC long. Now, I like the way that you said 18.5 And if I look at Bitcoin at this area, and I'm on a 12-hour here, and I'm just pointing out to the fact that we are within a large lateral range still. So that allows me to do what? It allows me to be bearish when we reach the top. So this is a bearish line. So there I'm going to be bearish, and it allows me to be bullish when we reach the bottoms. And without trying to overthink this or because remember, trading, if you're trying to make it complicated, it's going to be complicated. If you keep it simple in that regard, you'll have a better chance of getting in on a good trades, because most overthought trades never play out well. So the idea is, when I look at that, I'm saying to myself, well, there was demand created, and all I want to do is I just want to try and buy that demand at the bottom. So when I'm looking at that demand zone, I'm just using my simple fib, 50% on that little wick there. Because why? Well, first thing, I've got a high, I've got another higher high. So I've got that higher high. So it's telling me that if I'm going to come and sweep these lows, that would be the good buy zone for me. So it's a little below where Lee's 18.5 is. But for me, that is still within reason, because somebody could have a nice stop in there. That's what you're trying to take. You take somebody's loss, and then the market turns on you. So that's the thought behind that. Now, if I apply a little bit of support resistance to this, so I'm looking at Bitcoin and I'm saying, okay, where would support and resistance levels be? So this is this indicator that we have. It's quite simple and easy to use. All I'm doing is I'm taking the lowest candle, and I'm taking the highest point of the candle and the lowest point of the candle. I just put a ray on it, a simple ray, just snap to it, so that I've got the values on the side. So if I do that and I switch it on and I pull it in, top price, bottom price, and I say, okay, it generates these white lines. Now, what I do like is, now you guys know when we look at 50% fib, what is that? That's a half level. So if I say R2 means give me half levels. So all of a sudden it starts giving you half level supports. So this is where Bitcoin bounced at the moment. It gave you that half level support. And this is where Lee's 18.5 is coming in. So maybe I get to be wrong this time, but there was the support level. So if you were willing to, you could have taken action on it. And that's why we love trading different strategies. But now if I go into this and I'm trying to fit something to fit my narrative, but I'm saying to myself, well, if I'm looking at a quarter level, so I'm going to go to R4, I'm going to be looking at quarters. What I'm getting is I'm getting a support level smack that lines up with my buy zone. So if this doesn't make a higher high, remember it now needs to go and engulf 19,234. So anybody that got this buy, you need to have your eyes on that level. Go above it, then you're okay. If it doesn't, that's going to be this shakeout to this move. And that will be the area where I'm going to buy with a stop limit below the support level, which is currently sitting at 18,055. So somewhere below that, I'm just going to hide my bullish stop. That's it. That's all that I want to share. Simple, not trying to complicate it. Hope it works for you guys. Hope it makes sense. Lee, what do you think of it?
Yeah, brilliant support. I don't think, honestly, I'm still, holding my opinion that bearish. I mean, we're not bearish yet on Bitcoin. It's still bullish. What else? Let me know in the chat if you want to do some Forex tomorrow, Friday Forex. FF. I'm trying to make a space in this crypto channel for my Forex, for a Forex trader. I've got some evidence, and Rudo, you tell me if I'm wrong or not. I've got evidence that the dollar is hitting resistance against all the other euro, GBP.
Oh, I would love that evidence. Are you going to show it to us?
Aussie dollar and Japanese dollar. Dollar is hitting resistance. So to me, dollar is losing his strength. So if dollar is losing his strength, DXY is losing his strength. I mean, if dollar is getting weaker, then where are you going to put your money? Where you want to go invest? To me, you want to buy Bitcoin, you want to buy gold, you want to buy this kind of asset. So if my analysis on those Forex charts is correct, and I'm enjoying, now longing euro, longing GBP, longing everything against the dollar, shorting USD, Japanese yen, and then we have an amazing short, and hopefully it's gonna hold, because that short we've taken is based on the weekly chart level.
So it's
if
gonna,
that is the
it's
top
gonna
and we
do
can
well.
hold that short for a few weeks, a few months, and make out of small money a lot of money. But that is a little bit too early to say that. On the US GBP short, I'm really excited about this. So yeah, let me know in the chat if you wanna see a little bit of Forex. Yeah, that is the
On
British
Friday.
pound weekly chart. Weekly chart for me, that is a weekly divergence. I'm longing this level here to go at least there. I mean, that small move is gonna make more money than any of my crypto trade that I've taken in the past. USD, Japanese yen. I mean, we were shorting yesterday, literally at the top on 1 minute chart. Now we are looking at the weekly chart. Weekly, we are here in the orange box. I labeled this gray area here, and we shorted yesterday within this area on 1 minute, 5 minute chart. So we literally shorted the top. So that little drop, guys, if this is the if this is the bearish divergence and if this is the top, obviously I'm gonna try again within this gray area. I'm not gonna try too long, but rather short. If we can get this short, I mean, it's really a little bit too early, but yeah, I mean, that thing can retrace to 618 to the downside as well, and going below 100, Japanese yen for the against the dollar. So that will be an amazing show. It's like really like a money printing machine now on Forex. And I must say, I'm 70% accurate on Forex trades. Portfolio is going well. On crypto, took 2 Bitcoin long last last week, 2 Bitcoin long, 2 stopped out. Bitcoin still want to go lower.
Well, there you have it, guys. So let's try and work it in for tomorrow. Guys, remember, I see this comment, leverage or spot. It depends on how far your risk is to your stop limit. If the risk to stop limit is greater than 3%, you can only take a long on spot. Always remember that. So if the risk to your stop limit is 0.5%, you're welcome to 6x that for that matter. End of the day, you want to be losing your 3%. Something to add onto this, head over to the Discord. This is the link. I'll bring it up for you guys. Stop right inside of the screen. Just scan it over there. Head over to the Discord, get premium access. Scan this Google Sheet form. What it's going to do is it's going to allow you actually to, it's going to open, if this disappears, it's going to open this form. And the channel partner for today is OKX. If you sign up with OKX, what it gives you a month access to the indicator. All you need to do is just fund your own account. That's it. You don't need to pay for it. They would pay for your access to the indicator. And it will give you need to give us your TradingView username. And it will give you access to the support resistance indicator, which is a private script. So then you can go and start applying this to your trade. So how does it get easier than that? You want to talk and trade a little bit of Forex, you can do that as well, because then when you're in the premium group, there's a whole Forex dedicated channel where Forex trades get shared. And it takes away the guessing and the wondering. These are easy trades to be had because the Forex, in our opinion, is not as crazy manipulated in different directions as much. So it's actually an easier trading environment. Now, guys, you kind of know where we are, where the bearish point of Bitcoin, where the bullish point is of Bitcoin, where we want to buy, where we want to short this. So looking forward to seeing you on tomorrow's stream. We're going to dive into this a little bit further. Let's see how the day played out. From an FOMC point of view, guys, I think everybody today is going to be trying to be too smart for what is happening. I'm at the point where I'm saying, the cards have been dealt. Everybody knows about it's no longer the new unknown narrative. So for me, I'm gonna be focusing on trading rather than trying to dive into these news events too much. The market is overextended, and I've got the right to be bullish. I'm holding a short. Fibonacci Lee, thanks so much, buddy. I really appreciate the time. See you guys tomorrow for another one of these episodes. And if you like the content, hit the subscribe button if you want. And then we'll see you soon.
See you tomorrow.
Cheers, guys.
Keep hustling. Hustling.